Let's go. We'll be fine. Oh, no, never mind. No, Orchid's really good, actually. She's just kind of... She's a hard-hitting character, still. It's just no one really is playing her, just because there's... In my opinion, I think right now the biggest thing is having to deal with the fact that Saberwolf's just overall kind of the better character to play because of mix-up options. And then Rash as well just is a better Orchid in general. But even this season, like, she's really good. She's kind of slept on. That's how most of the characters are. They're just underused. They're underrepresented. There's only a small handful of Orchid players who do great work with her. Black Mantis is one of them. Black Mantis does great work with Orchid. And then Nate found a lot of great stuff with Orchid as well. Essentially, Killer Instincts and tier list, because every character is viable, is basically like a Pokemon tier list now. You have OU tier, which is basically, you know, top tier. You got UU, which is like our A tier. Our A tier is UU, essentially. Yeah, it's not working. The Street Fighter V in general, like, only became a decent game. I'm not gonna say good, because it wasn't a good game. Street Fighter V was not a good game, not even towards the end of its life. The game itself, with all DLC, was worth it, except costumes, because costumes obviously was what made the game a saving grace. With just characters included, honestly, the game was like worth maybe 40 bucks. If you can get it for like 30, 40 bucks, yeah, you got a decent game. But it is not a $60 game with 5 seasons worth of characters. It was not worth it. I don't know why it did shatter there. It was supposed to be puddle, but whatever. God damn it. Yeah, Cody and Street Fighter V, easily great design. It's like, okay, there's so many cool things they could do with this character, and he's boring as shit. They made him the most bare bones version of Cody ever. And then a lot of characters just end that way, where they just weren't useful. Yeah, people... I mean, I was in the same boat where I was like, Elena healing was bust. Like, Jago healing's the problem. That's why you gotta nerf that on the character. But in reality, it wasn't. It was just a free approach. Which, even now, I do think there are some characters that need to get that removed. Obviously, if you're using Instinct, there's not much you can do, but... Well, just remember, that was in the age where people were so tired of crazy bullshit from fighting games that they wanted games to go back to being neutral focused and simplified, not as crazy. In which case, I tell them all the same thing. So you want to play the most boring fighting game in the world, huh? Neutral evolves in every fighting game. Pretty much, because MK11 was in the same boat. MK11 turned into Street Fighter V. That's what it was trying to do. They limit so much of the characters. Everything about the game cosmetic-wise, and meter was also terrible in that game, but it had the speed, right? It had the speed. The neutral speed was fine. Like walking speed and stuff like that was a-okay, but what the characters can do was the dumbest part. It's like, well, you need a bar, and unless your character is good with bar and doesn't have air combos, you're really kind of stuck. No, people are going back to 5 and thinking, oh, this shit's so good. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm sorry to tell you guys, this thing is bad. But they're in that era where, unfortunately, and this is just, you know, it's part on Capcom, but it's also part on the community. You know, the meta doesn't always change right away. They had to focus on, hey, the World Cup is happening right now. We can't just instantly change it all. In which case, to that I say, that's a lie. You should focus on having maybe either bi-yearly, I would say one every season, like a seasonal update would be the best bet for Street Fighter 6. If possible. One every season with the character. That's why it's literally just, hey, can you maybe patch things a little bit better? Or just patch the game a little bit more frequently, like, hey, maybe adjust this character a little bit. Getting impatient. I gotta focus real quick. Excuse me? Fuck. I threw. God damn it. But that's the minor balance changes. You need to adjust things more accordingly. In my opinion, every season you should be trying to adjust problems. It's 2 drinks in. Not even 1 drink, 2. You need 2 at bare minimum just to be a character. And then by the time you get to the 3rd or 4th drink, it's too late. That's why to this day I will always just make it to where the shots are permanent. Manon is good, and like in my opinion, I think Manon's really good. I still think Manon's really good, just no one's utilizing her correctly. I don't think people are spending enough time on the character. Now what's gonna happen, and I know it, is that people are gonna say, oh, this character's bad, and then in 1 year right now, because she doesn't get any adjustments, and people don't know the matchup, / people just don't know what she's doing correctly, And one person perfects her to the point where, hey, this character is really good. You just are too lazy. You guys are too lazy to really put in time and work. So now the information is limited. Look at what happened with Ryu. Ryu just got second place at Capcom World Cup. Do you know why that happened? One, because that player was amazing. But two, everyone didn't know how to deal with it. He just bullied people. And that was perfect. That strategy worked. He bullied the shit out of people, had an amazing run, outplayed everyone. And you know what? People didn't know how to deal with it. And guess whose fault that is? Us. It's the opponent's fault. They weren't ready for it. He did. They made him a much better boy, that's for sure. But that's the inconsistent stuff as well. And the thing is, people knew about it. You had Daigo, for example, showing off like, hey, this stuff's really good. People should utilize this better. And you know what happened? No one wanted to do it. Why? Because, well, Ken's just easier. Akuma's just easier. I don't have to think. I don't have to do anything. I play flowchart and I get to do whatever I want and get away with the badge. Same thing with Bison. What happens? Every fighting game has those moments where just people are going through the motion. They're flowcharting it. It happens. Every fighting game does it. Not much you can do about that. People are going to look for the easy stuff. Pick a top tier. Nope. Most of the time they aren't. Now, yeah, I play a top tier in this game, but that's because, guess what? I've been playing the game since 2015, and I've only been playing Glacius for 90% of that. And I'm out here saying, Rash is top 5. I've been saying it since 2016. No one believed me. 4 years, 5 years later, Rash broke the game so much that they had to come back and patch the game, and they still didn't make him bottom. They still didn't nerf him hard enough. He went from potentially top 1 with Arya to, oh, he's just number 2. Like another character, for example, Shago was not. Actually, no, not Shago, but Saberwolf was in a weird spot. In my honest opinion, like Shago, all rushdown characters except for Rash, essentially were just outclassed by Rash because Rash literally was just the best rushdown character. What more could you want? Like, you want to play rushdown, don't play anything else but Rash. Like, don't bother playing the other characters. The funny thing is, though, Rash tends to struggle against the other rushdown characters, which is ironic because, that's how a lot of the top tier characters are. Glacius, for example, strongest zoner in the game technically. I think he's the strongest one, but he's not the best zoner. He's just the strongest. Best means that he's best at the zoning skill set, which I think Kilgore is the best zoner along with Eagle. But hilariously, Glacius loses to zoners. Zoners beat him. If Shago zones, Glacius is in trouble. It's a slow match. Like, for example, TJ Combo's main gimmick was that TJ Combo you have to respect at any distance. In general, some of the best rushdown Oki you can have. Has some good range, long pokes that have great range. Well, wait a minute. There's the key. Rash has that too. Rash still has that. It's not as good, but mind you, he does have these far-reaching pokes that can go quite a good distance. So Rip Door is now outclassed still. Now it's nowhere near as good. It's not as huge of a detriment, but overall it's way easier to do Rash shit than it is to do the Rip Door shit. I am having a problem opening up Takinori. Then you get to Saberwolf. Okay, free YOLO approach or free approach. Doesn't have to commit as hard to overhead or lows. Oh, wait a minute. Saberwolf's main thing, he has to commit to lows or overheads. Rash doesn't. So why play Rash? Ironically, Rash is the counter, the hardest counter for Rash, one of the hardest counters, along with Kill Lord, but it was great. Like, it's just dumb. And it's not as problematic now, just because now there's a little bit more space between all the rushdown characters. They're a lot more diversified to where, hey, they do work with each other. Rash just doesn't outclass them. But Rash is still stupid. Like, he's still playing a different game. He's still playing a very fast-paced game where he doesn't have to give a shit. It's nowhere near as good as it once was, but it's still problematic. They didn't change the main issue, which was every rushdown character wants a free approach, and Rash has that. Combo technically can do it, but it can be easily kind of punished. I'm gonna punish that dog. She's barking. She's gonna have to wait. Stella, shush. He still is. That's the thing. He's just not top 1 anymore. Now he's just top 2. He still is busted as hell. The only thing is, Rash no longer can just hit you twice and call it a day. Now he has to hit you 5 times. A lot harder to deal with. Takinori, I really need to finish this match as soon as possible because the dog is barking and I don't need my parents waking up. I'm sorry. Alright, I'll be right back, chat.